What's up, guys? Before I do the video, I just want to start off by saying rest in peace to Matt, a.k.a. APOTHIC. He was a good guy. He was a friend of mine. Passed away the other day unexpectedly, so I am supporting your shirt from your brand. It was Awareness Apparel. You know, he was really big into anti-government stuff, and so am I. So I'm supporting your shirt, man. I miss you, and yeah. Anyway, today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be teaching you two flourishes, two of my favorite flourishes. Now, a flourish is that cool, flashy, show-offy thing that magicians do with cards. You know, something like this, or, you know, where you bring it out and make it look like it's disappearing, or flicking the cards like that, or springing the cards, or some people are into cardistry, which I respect you, but I hate cardistry, so I'm not even going to get into that. But I'm going to teach you today how to spring the cards, which is this, and how to flick cards out of the deck, which is this, okay? Very, very, very easy to do as long as you practice. And once you start practicing, and once you work on getting your own technique, which I'm going to tell you right now, you could develop your own technique. You don't have to just work off of mine. But it's very easy to do after a while. All you got to do is practice. The first thing I'm going to teach you is how to spring cards. Springing cards is this. Some people call it waterfall, some people call it springing, some people call it jumping cards. You know, I call it springing, so that's the move. And it's very, very easy. And it looks really cool, too. Everybody always asks me, though, oh, can you spring the cards that way they go up and over your head? No, can't. It's physically impossible. Laws of physics will not allow it. But I'm going to show you right now how it's done, all right? The move is really simple. All you want to do is work with the pads of your fingertips, all right? And your thumb, of course, and the top and the bottom of the deck. It doesn't really matter what kind of deck you have, but the newer the deck, the better that this is going to work. Or if it's bicycle, after a while they start to clump together and they don't really fan out too well. So when you want to fan a deck like this, you know, you got to make sure that it's new, because if you could fan the deck, you could spring the deck, because that means that the cards are slippery, and that means that the cards will slide off of each other very easily, which is the principle in this flourish. What you do is you take your fingertips and you place them onto the top and bottom of the deck. Now, I sometimes use my pinky, but not always. But you take your fingertips on the top and bottom. Some people do it by the corners, and that's fine too. But all you're pretty much doing is you're taking the deck and bending it inwards. When you bend it inwards, pretty much the pressure is being put on the cards right here. So when you release that pressure, the cards, I'm going to do this really, really slow, the cards are pretty much flicking themselves out of the deck and straightening themselves. That's why they're flat in my hands. They land flat, all right? Sometimes it's a really good idea as well to do it in both directions. Anyway, you take the pads of your fingers, you apply the pressure, it's being built up in the center of the deck. What you do is you pretty much just release the pressure from the front of your fingertips, and this is pretty much the movement that you're making, all right? So, like that, all right? Watch my fingers, all right? Watch. When you do that, that's what releases the cards. That's what, you know, springs them out and makes them go all over the place, especially at first. If you're going to do this, do it close to your body at first so you can learn how to catch. But what is happening is pretty much when you're releasing the pressure, that's when the cards are flying out of the deck and into your other hand. So they're straightening themselves pretty much, all right? So one more time, you bend the cards in just like this. And just pretty much release that pressure that you have on the top and bottom of the deck, and it will straighten itself. I'll just toss one over here. The second flourish that I'm going to do, I don't really know if there's a name for it. I just call it flicking the cards out of the deck, because that's what you do, is you flick the cards out. I'm also one of those people where if there's a name of a trick, or if there's somebody who made a trick, I'm completely fucking clueless. I don't know who made the tricks. I don't know what they're called. I just know how to perform them and get reactions out of them. But this is pretty much how to flick a card out of a deck. You take your middle finger, all right, top of the deck just like this. Your index finger and your ring finger support the two corners of the deck. All right, I'm going to bring this in a little bit closer. It might get a little loud, I don't know. All right, but right here, your middle finger goes onto the top. Your ring finger and your index finger support the deck on the corners. Now, you should be able to hold the deck like this, okay? If you could do that, you're golden, all right? Now, the next move is really simple. All you're doing is you're taking your thumb, and as you can see right here on the corner, each corner has an angel. These are pretty much really, really good pivot points. That's where you want your thumb to be when you flick the card out of the deck, okay? So watch. You take the deck, middle finger, index finger on the top, ring finger on the bottom. Just rest your pinky there. Doesn't really matter. You take your thumb, you put it onto the angel, and you apply pressure. And when you're applying the pressure, you're pushing it upwards. So you're going like that. And that's pretty much the move of how it works, okay? When I put the pressure on the angel right here, the card's going to fly up, but it's going to pivot around my finger right here, right at the joint. All right? That's where it's going to pivot. When it flies out, that's when it's going to start to spin in the air, and that's when it, it gives you that look of that's what you want. All right? That is the move. Now, I snap my fingers just to make it look cool. You don't have to. One thing that I really do suggest when you're doing this is you want to start out with smaller amounts of cards, so that way they don't go everywhere if you drop them, all right? But when you start to get it down, you'll be able to catch multiple cards at a time. And sometimes, and I don't even know if this is going to work, but you could do this as well. Hold on. Here we go. That one. See? All you're doing right there is you're just getting really, really close to the card, puckering your lips like this. You go, and then you breathe in. And when you breathe in, it pretty much attracts that card. So it goes, it's a suction effect. But that's for a later time, all right? Just going to review this one more time. Middle finger on the top of the deck, all right? Ring finger and index finger supporting the corners, all right, like this. Thumb to the bottom angel. You push upwards. The card will pivot around your finger and fly. Now, if you want to add a little bit of a force to the card so that way it could probably, fly higher like this, then catch it, who cares? If you want to do that, though, that you could do that. If it helps you, go ahead. Now, this is a great way to find a card, when you're flinging the cards, when you're springing them, obviously it gives a good impression at first, but when you flick the cards, you could say, hey, here, pick a card out. They take this card right here, all right? You put it into the deck, you shuffle it up, give it a cut like this, and then once you, you could find the card and flick it out of the deck like that. Pretty easy. So practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect. So please do that. If you like the video, if you want more tutorials, click like, share the video if it helped you out. One more thing, November 29th, Crystal Pepsi is finally being released to the public. It's going to be online. So everybody go ahead and go online and buy Crystal Pepsi. Tweet at Pepsi that we want the official release statement. Other than that, I can't think of anything else. Tell me what you think. Like, subscribe, favorite, comment, share, all that good stuff. Yeah, that's it. Shout out to the LA Beast. Thanks, guys.